channel, The Financial Talk, your safe place to talk money. My name is Natalie, and today I'm gonna be talking about emergency funds. I'm gonna be answering some questions and sharing the importance of having one. So if you want to learn more about this topic, keep watching. An emergency fund is a financial safety net. It's money that you put aside to protect yourself from any unexpected expenses, such as job loss, medical expenses, home repairs. You never know when an emergency is going to happen, so it's better that you have this fund ready. That way, you will avoid to getting into more debt or avoid taking money out from your savings or investments. Remember that this fund is meant for emergencies. It's not for you to take money if you wish to go on vacation or go shopping. As soon as possible, before you start repaying debt or investing your money or even considering going on a vacation, you should have an emergency fund in place. Financial planners recommend that your emergency fund should cover at least 3 months and up to 6 months of your fixed expenses. These expenses could be your rent, groceries, bills, car insurance, and other expenses that you may have every month, and they're certain. The amount of months will really depend on your personal finance situation. Someone who's single and has no kids has a different situation as someone who's married and has kids. So, to start building the emergency fund, you must decide the amount of months that you want to start with. Let's say that you want to start building an emergency fund that covers 3 months of expenses. In that case, you will add all your expenses, the ones that I mentioned before, and then that total you will multiply it by 3. If you decide 4, you'll multiply it by 4, and so on. You can start with 3 months and little by little build that emergency fund up to 6 months. No one is expecting you to build an emergency fund from one day to another. There are different strategies that you can use to build your emergency fund and make it easier. I feel the best way is to budget. So when you budget, you will add a section, a line that says emergency fund. So that way you know that every month you must contribute, you must put money away towards that fund. To make it easier and, let's say, more creative, you can start switching some habits that you have. Let's say for 1 month, you'll say like, I won't eat out, I will eat at home, meal prep, and that way all the money that you have saved, you'll put it towards the emergency fund. Another month, you can be like, I'm not gonna Uber this month, I'm gonna take public transportation or walk, and the money you have saved throughout the month, you can put it towards the emergency fund. Another strategy could be to start a side hustle. Sell things online or be a freelancer. That way you can raise money and put the money towards building your emergency fund. If you receive money for your birthday or receive a tax return, all that extra income can go to your emergency fund as well. An emergency fund should be liquid and accessible because in the case of an emergency, you might need these funds as soon as possible. The best practice might be to have these funds on a savings account. That way, you can withdraw the money when you need. It's not recommended to have these funds on a checking account because you might be tempted to use the money for other purposes. Also, it might not be a good idea to invest your emergency fund because if you have an emergency and you need to get the money out, you might have to liquidate the securities and take up on a loss if the price went down. And also, the process is really long until you liquidate the security and then get the funds. It might take a couple of business days. So the best practice is keep your emergency fund on a savings account. You can go for a high yield interest savings account if you wish. An emergency fund is your umbrella on a rainy day. It will protect you from unexpected expenses, but at the same time, it will help you to stop relying on other tools such as debt or borrowing money. At the same time, it will help you achieve those long term goals that you may have. For example, let's say that you are saving towards a goal such as having your own business, right? So you may save up some money for that. And if you have an emergency, you don't have to take money out of your savings in order to cover that emergency. The only thing you'll do is take money out of your emergency fund, cover the emergency, and your savings are not touched. That way, you can easily reach your long term financial goals. Everything for this video. I hope you like it and that the information here is really useful. If you do not have an emergency fund, you should go calculate your expenses and figure out what amount you should start with. It is really, really important that you have one in place before you do anything else. If you have an emergency fund, please comment down below the strategies that you use to build your emergency fund, as it might be helpful for people that are just starting. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, help me grow my community by sharing this video with your friends, family, neighbor, pet, anyone that might find this information valuable and useful. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. You can also follow me on my Instagram, The Financial Talk. And if you have any questions or you just want to chat, just send me a message. I am always on my phone checking Instagram. So I'll definitely reply fast. Yes, if there is any ideas that you might have for future videos or content, please let me know. Thank you for watching. Hasta pronto.